Everybody, welcome. We are here today to talk about credit. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Qiana, you're a real estate agent. Why in the world are you talking about credit? And the answer is really simple. I found over the years that there's two things that sort of hold people up from buying their first home. One of them is down payment and misconceptions about what is, and more importantly, what is not needed to buy a house. But the other one's credit. And we are tackling that one today because the terms credit, or more, importantly, credit score, strike fear into the heart of far too many people, and unnecessarily a lot of the time. So I found that the best way to sort of overcome that is to get you some real facts from a real expert. So today, my friend Grant is here. He is awesome. He is a guru on all things credit, and he has agreed to just share a few minutes and a few tips with us. So Grant, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hey guys, my name's Grant Presol. I've been doing credit repair for over 14 years. I'm working on my 14th year right now. All I do all day, every day is look at credit reports and help people find ways to improve their scores. So there's a lot that goes into your credit scores, but I've found that it's a quite simple process. It's almost like a game of chess. Make the right moves at the right time, and it's the best chance at improving your scores. So I figured that out over the 14 years, and so I've been helping people with that.
That is awesome. And we have sent a lot of people Grant's way, and I can vouch for the fact that he is in fact awesome. So tell us, Grant, what are some of the biggest misconceptions you get when people call you just out of the gate? What are the big ones?
The score itself, I think, is the biggest first hurdle that people have. Oftentimes they'll be on a free website, like let's say Credit Karma, for example. They'll get that score and then they think they have a 720, and they'll go to a lender, and then the lender pulls a FICO score, and the scores are much different, oftentimes lower. And so they're really confused about their scores. Why are their scores different? Why is this one lower? And why they don't qualify. So they're very frustrated from the start. And just to let you know, there's different scores and different scoring models. 99% of the lenders use FICO scoring. I can go into much more depth with you when I speak with you, when I go through a credit report with you about those different scoring models. But just know that there are different scoring models, and lenders use FICO, and you oftentimes as a consumer are looking at something called a Vantage score.
Okay, so it sounds to me like your relationship with Credit Karma is a lot like my relationship with Zillow. And sometimes you have to give people bad news. Those are toys, people. They are toys. They're consumer-facing toys. It's not the real thing.
Right.
Glad I'm not the only one delivering good news. You made me feel a little better about myself there. Okay, so good information. If you could give people out there one tip, just one easy thing that they can do themselves to improve their credit, what would it be?
Well, I'm going to do one that works for people that, might have bad credit, made mistakes, and for people that also have never made a mistake in their credit, but they can't figure out why their scores are changing so much. And that's debt ratios. When you have, say, $1,000 limit credit card and you use it throughout the month, and let's say you get to $700 on that, and when they report that, it's 70% at 70% debt ratio. 1,000 divided by 700, or 700 divided by 1,000. Sorry, it's 70%, and that's how they figure out the debt ratio. Well, at 70%, that's pulling down your score negatively. Optimal for your scores is to have your balances below 10%. It starts to negatively impact your score when you go above 30%. Now, what people don't understand is even if you're never missing a payment or you're paying it off every month, it depends what time you're paying that off, because the creditors send reports to the credit bureaus. Let's use Discover, for example. They have 50 million clients. They send this big batch file to all three bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, every month. Here's our people, here's their balances, here's their limits, here's who missed their payments, etc. Well, they send that, but if you paid 2 days after they sent that to the bureaus, you have $700 on that account is what it sees. So you're at 70%, but then 2 days after they send that report, you pay it all off like you always do. And you're like, I'm on time and I paid my credit off. Well, it sees you at 70%. And so your scores are down. But if you paid it 2 days before they sent that big batch file off, your scores will go up because you have a very low balance on there. And so you've not done anything wrong. You've not missed a payment. You use it, you pay it off. But for some reason, your scores are going like this. It's because of when they're reporting to the bureaus what your balances are and what your limits are. And so it seems very confusing, but it's just a simple solution of calling your creditor and asking when they report to the bureaus and making sure you pay before then. And then you should see a nice, easy score that stays a little more steady.
Well, as somebody who uses one credit card specifically for everything and pays it off every month, I'm now seriously questioning when I'm paying that bill and if I might benefit from making a 10-minute phone call, or, God knows when you actually talk to somebody, but hopefully a fairly fast phone call to ask that simple question.
Yeah,
that is
it makes a
awesome
huge difference. I mean, I've seen swings of 30 to 40 points a month that people are like, I can't figure out why I'm yo-yoing. And
That's
it's simply
nuts.
just paying their debt, paying their credit cards at the right time.
Geez, well, I learned something new. That's awesome. Okay, well, let's say that we have somebody that they know they have a problem. They know they've got a credit issue. They've made some mistakes in the past. They are terrified. They need your help. How does that go? When they call you, what happens? How long does it take? How much does it cost? What should they expect if they give you a call?
I think the first big thing would be, do not be afraid to call me and just let me know what's going on. The more you tell me and the more honest you are, the more I can help you. It's that first step of just telling, hey, I've got some problems. I've got some charge-offs. I've got some old collections on there. What do? I need help. We're looking to possibly buy a home. We have kids now. We want a house. There's issues. So timelines, things like that. Just don't be afraid to contact me and let's start talking. And so what I do first is I'll do a free consultation. I'll look through your entire credit report and I'll screen share it on my computer and I'll go through it line by line and explain to you how we can possibly improve your scores, what's going on with your credit, and some issues we can maybe resolve to get your scores up. And that's free, absolutely free. And then if you want additional help, I charge a $2.99 fee. It's a one-time fee. It covers you for a full year. I'd like to get your credit scores and everything back on track in the first 35 to 45 days, max like 90 days on some severe cases. But you are covered for a year. So let's say, for example, we get the scores up, you get your lending approval, and you get your home in 3 months, and you're sitting on your new couch. And then 8 months down the road, this collection from AT&T shows up, and you're like, I never use AT&T, I have Verizon. You're covered. You call me up, you say, hey, Grant, there's this weird collection on my credit report. You don't have to pay me a dime. We go after it. We try to get it taken care of. So that's how that goes. And if you have a spouse that needs credit repair as well, I only charge an additional $100 for the spouse. So that's how I kind of work. I need a credit report to look at. So I get that provided by you. And then I go through that credit report, like I say, and I screen share it, record a video. So you have that on hand so you can look back through it and always see what I'm talking about. It's not just like this bam, bam, bam conversation. You lose all the information the minute you hang up the phone. I'm not there to just kind of do a sales pitch. I want to educate you on what your credit is and how to improve your credit.
That is awesome. And I'm going to take this opportunity to point out, I'm sure that a lot of people out there have had experiences with other credit repair companies. And I'm going to go ahead and take a wild swing at this and say you called and talked to some employee that was probably making $15 an hour, that is not an expert on credit or credit repair, who certainly doesn't give a flying hoot about you. Their only job is to keep you from canceling so they can drag a couple more months dues or payment out of you. Now, compare that experience to what Grant just described. I mean, worlds apart, right? Like you call Grant, you get Grant. You get the expert who's on the phone, on his cell phone, talking you through this stuff. There is a reason we work with the people we do, and it is because they are the absolute best in the business. That is who we want working with our clients. We have sent Grant, I don't even know how many people over the years, but a number of them.
Quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, it works. He does a great job, and we love to do that for people and be that resource. So we have Grant's information. I've got it on my website. I'm going to put it in the comments when we post this video to social. But Grant, real quick, just like, what's your website? What's the easiest way to get you? How do you want people to reach out?
You can go to Palouse Credit. That's Palouse. It'll be down in the comments too. Don't worry about spelling it. It's kind of a weird name. But it's Palouse Credit. You can get my cell phone number from Qiana. You can shoot me a quick text if you want. I'm always responsive on my texts as well. Like I said, the first thing I just want you to do is just make contact with me. I'll be happy to answer questions, you guys. I don't just say, hey, I want your money, then I'll answer your questions. No, I'll answer questions. And then if you want my help, then we'll talk about a payment. So just reach out when you can. And those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Grant, I cannot thank you enough. I mean, I learned something today that might help my credit. And I wasn't exactly anticipating. I mean, I have pretty darn good credit. So thank you for that. And thanks for taking the time to kind of educate all the people we care about. And I bet you get some phone calls after this because
I hope so. I would love to help you guys. I would love to help.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Bye.